Do not try to match people's negative energy. I need you to hear me. Matches start fires, and the situation always becomes combustible. I'm talking about TNT explosive. Listen, I need you to slide on over to my YouTube channel today at 6 p.m. for my podcast masterclass. I'm talking about 3 ways to deal with toxic people. Oh, you ought to turn me up. I'm mic'd up. Join me and let's mix it up. What's good, good people? How you doing? How you living? How's it going? What's happening? I hope that you, yes, you are doing well. Well, I want to welcome you to another edition of In the Mix. I'm your host with the most, yours truly, Dr. Eddie Connor. And it's an honor that you've joined me today on my podcast masterclass. Yes, yes. We're talking about 3 ways to deal with difficult people from the aspect and the perspective of protecting your energy. That's what you got to do. You got to protect your energy. And here's what I understand: just like we shield our bodies from harmful toxins, just like we shield our bodies from harmful UV ray lights, and we're laying out on the beach and putting on some sunscreen, right? Just like we shield our eyes from harmful substances that can get in our eyes if we're working on something around the house, doing some construction. We're wearing a mask when there may be some viruses, or we're wearing a mask to keep ourselves from some asbestos. Whatever it is, we shield our bodies from harmful toxins. And we also have to protect our energy. We have to protect our mental stability. We have to protect our spiritual well-being. We have to protect our mindset. We have to protect our energy. We have to protect our heart. And just like we shield it physically, we have to also do that interpersonally. And one of the important things is to really mark those that are causing divisions among you, as scripture mentions that. I really have to make a target on those who bring toxicity. I have to identify those who are toxic. And I think that's the first thing that we have to do. Identify toxic people. ITP. Identify toxic people. Because here's what toxic people will do. If I'm going to deal with difficult people, I got to identify those who are toxic. Because I have to shield myself. I have to shield my energy from people who are toxic. And here's what I understand. Some people may try to pull you back into unhealthy patterns. They want to drain your energy with negativity. These are people who are energy vampires. As I'm identifying toxic people, here's what I'm identifying. I'm also identifying energy vampires. Who are those individuals who leech and pull the life out of you? They get their tentacles in you and they don't want to let go at all. I got to identify who are those energy vampires. When you get around them, now you feel downtrodden. Now you feel discombobulated. Now you feel downcast. Right? They leave you feeling exhausted. They leave you feeling emotionally depleted. So why keep surrounding yourself with people who are like that? And here's what I understand as well. They have a lack of respect for your boundaries. You say you don't like this. You say you don't like that. You say, I don't want you to do this. You say, I don't want you to do that. And here's what they do. They disregard that. They don't respect your boundaries. Here's what they don't have. They don't have boundaries for themselves either. I don't want to engage with these type of individuals. Why? Because now they manipulate me. They gaslight you. They move you into a place of self-doubt and stress and emotional exhaustion. And hear me, you always know that you're in the hands of a manipulator when they make you feel bad for what they did to you. You know you're being manipulated. You know you're in the hands of a manipulator when they make you feel bad for what they did to you. Free yourself from that. Free yourself from that emotional exhaustion, that stress, and that self-doubt. And here's what you have to do. You have to set firm boundaries. If you're going to maintain your energy, if you're going to protect your energy, if you're going to find a way to deal with difficult people, if you're going to have mental clarity, you have to set firm boundaries. You draw a line in the sand and you stand. Draw a line in the sand and stop backing up from it. Why are you retreating? Let your yes be yes. Let your no be no. This is what you're standing for. This is what you refuse to stand for. That's what it brings you to. If I'm going to deal with difficult people, I have to identify the toxic people. I have to identify those who are energy vampires in my life. And I got to set healthy boundaries so that I don't fall into their trap. Secondly, here's what I have to do. I have to be solidified spiritually. I need a solid spiritual connection. Talking about 3 ways to deal with difficult people, really protecting your energy. Got to identify toxic people. I have to have a solid spiritual connection. I have to, because here's what I understand. Yeah, I can't let nobody pop my balloons. Here's what I understand. Here's what I understand about solidifying myself spiritually. And one of those specific ways is that a spiritual foundation gives you clarity. A spiritual foundation rooted in God heightens your level of intuition. It heightens your level of discernment. It raises the antennas on being able to see through people. Why? Because you will know a tree by the fruit that it bears. I got to be in my word. I got to be in prayer. I have to be studying. I have to take the time to avail myself to God. And I have to mute the noise around me so that I can hear the Spirit of God and the voice of God speak to me. Because He's going to show you things to come. He's going to show you what's about to happen before it happens. What does He do? He leads you and He guides you into all truth. He causes you to be in a place to where you know a tree by the fruit that it bears. A lot of us believe that just because there are leaves on trees, that those leaves on trees come with fruit. That's totally antithetical to what it is. I have to check the tree to see what type of fruit that it bears. I can't expect an orange seed, an orange tree to bear apples. Can't expect the apple tree to bear bananas. Not going to happen. The fruit is connected to the root. The root is based upon the seed that has been planted. What is the source of this particular person's actions? Does the tree have fruit? The fruits of the Spirit of love, joy, peace, long suffering, goodness, meekness, temperance. Against such as there is no law. And here's the thing. As I check the fruit, is the fruit fresh or is the fruit rotten? Come on, what's that person's attitude like? Is that particular person's attitude rotten? Is a whole lot of crying and lying, weaving and deceiving? No repentance, no forgiveness, aught, offense. What is going on in that particular person's actions? You'll know the tree that by the fruit that it bears. You don't need it. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time, is what Maya Angelou said. Believe what it is that you see. And here it is. Seeing is believing when it comes to this particular person's actions, when it comes to how people act, when it comes to protecting your energy. But here's what you're trying to do. You're trying to match people's energy. You're trying to match the negative energy that people bring. And oh, they going to go negative, so I'm going to go negative. Stop it. Matches start fires. Matches make situations combustible. Matches lead to that which becomes TNT explosive. Solidify yourself spiritually, because that spiritual connection with God is your anchor. Storms may come, winds may blow, people's attitudes may be incensed. I'm not going to be a thermometer. I'm a thermostat. I'm not going to reflect. I reset. I don't react. I respond. And I'm moving with intentional direction despite your disposition. Did you hear what I just said? You have to move with intentional direction despite other people's disposition. Told you, number one, listen, you have to identify toxic people. ITP, identify toxic people. Secondly, you need a solid spiritual connection. Solid spiritual connection. Last but not least, show up for yourself. Show up for you. Show up for yourself. When you show up for yourself, you can show up for other people. If you think little of yourself, you're going to do little for yourself. And as a result, you're going to do little for others as well. But if you think much of yourself, and I'm not talking about a place of arrogance, I'm talking about a place of confidence. Arrogance, not arrogance, awareness. Not conceit, confidence. When I show up for myself, when I think much of myself, I do much for myself and I do much for others as a result. I'm showing up for myself. I'm showing up for the right people. I'm showing up for people because I understand that I'm a voice of victory. It's not about how many followers I have. It's about how many leaders that I create from those who follow me. It's about me being a servant leader. It's about me developing other people. Right? It's about more than just self-preservation. It's about transformation. This is about more than I. It's about us. About more than me. It's about we. I'm a servant leader. Why? Because service is the rent that we pay for the space that we occupy. So I'm showing up for myself, and I can't show up for anybody else until I first show up for myself. What does the flight attendant say on the flight? Put your mask on first. Come on now. I can't adequately help you until I first help myself. Otherwise, I am pouring from an empty cup. And we've had too many people come into our life who make more withdrawals than they do deposits. We find ourselves pouring from an empty cup. We find ourselves pouring into people who have holes in their cup. In that place of showing up for myself, I learned to love myself. I learned to heal from the vestiges of my past. I learned to embrace my missteps, mishaps, mistakes, embrace the level of growth. Because no one of us has it all. Know-it-all really knows nothing at all. Each day ought to be growing, ought to be getting better, ought to be shifting from surviving to thriving. Ought to be focused more on being and becoming than receiving. Ought to be focused on being more, becoming more, not just receiving more. Because the byproduct of receiving more is being more and becoming more. Here's what I do. When I show up for myself, now I protect my energy. I know what it is that I need. And because I know what it is that I need, now I'm able to step into the shoes of other people to feel their hurt, their pain, what it is that they need. I got an inquiring eye. I got an inquiring ear. I don't just have 2 feet in the problem and no feet in the solution. I don't just have 2 feet in the solution, no foot in the problem. I got 1 foot in the problem, 1 foot in the solution. The 1 foot in the problem is that I got to test. The 1 foot in the solution is that I got a testimony. Am I talking to somebody? right? That energy protection. Without that energy protection, I'm feeling drained. I'm unable to show up for myself. I'm unable to be present for other people. I'm always distracted when other people are around. And hear me, can you show up for yourself, not just when the lights are on? Can you show up for yourself when nobody's looking? Can you show up for yourself in the dark? Can you show up for yourself when you're tired? Can you show up for yourself when it seems as if your back is up against the wall and you don't know who to call? When I'm protecting my energy, now I become a source of strength. I become a source of encouragement. I become a source of inspiration. I become a source of love to other people. Come on, I want you to begin to visualize. I want you to begin to strategize. I want you to begin to organize. I want you to begin to mobilize. I want you to begin to visualize. And as you visualize, you ought to be communicating this: I am protected. I am surrounded by love. I am protected. I am surrounded by love. I'm in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, meeting the right people, making the right connections. Favor follows me and guides my footsteps. You see, these types of affirmations that I ought to be saying to shift my life into action. No matter how it is that I'm feeling, no matter who hurt me, no matter who I hurt, I'm letting it go. I'm forgiving other people. I'm asking people to forgive me. I'm forgiving myself of the vestiges of my past. I'm appropriating God's forgiveness. I'm not just going to live my life being overwhelmed. I'm going to move my life into being overflowing and overcoming. That's the level of the healing that takes place. That's how I deal with toxic people. That's how I deal with difficult people. And sometimes, here it is, the greatest way to deal with difficult people is to not deal with them at all. Social distance yourself. Create some distance with that coworker. Create some distance with that church member. Create some distance with that sorority sister, that fraternity brother. Create some distance between that person who said that they were a friend to you, but they're more like an enemy against you. Create some distance. Oh, you acting brand new. No, I just have brand new boundaries. Who I used to be, I'm not anymore. What I used to do, I'm not doing that anymore. Who I used to call, I'm not dialing that number anymore. I have created distance. Why? Because I'm getting closer to my goal and closer to my dreams. And I got to protect my energy in order to be whoever I'm created to be. I want you to sow into this word that you've heard. I really do want you to sow into this word that you've heard. Speak life into your life. Link is in the chat, links in the description of this video for how and where to give. You can help to support this amazing show. In the mix, Cash App, $, Eddie Ministries, PayPal, Zelle, EddieConnorJr at gmail.com. We've been having a super conversation. Drop a super chat, drop a super sticker. Super thanks. You can join this channel to become a member of In the Mix, to become a supporter. Yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That's very, very important. But I also want you to become a partner. Link is in the description of this video for how to become a partner of the show for show and really support it. I'll give you a behind the scenes perspective, conversations that I don't share anywhere else. It's just specifically for those who become a member of In the Mix. My gift to you is to give you access to my members only area, unlock the unlimited, get an all access pass to the In the Mix membership area. Yeah. I got an amazing virtual village where I'm teaching, where I'm transforming lives, where I'm moving you from information to transformation. A lot of us have a lot of information, but the transformation is really going to cause us to take a different route beyond just the scenic route, but to really get on the highway of hope and to get on the highway of creating transformative change. If you want to be a part of my Equals community, to where you experience greater growth and greatness in your life and your well-being and who it is that you are, really just growing in the area of your business and in your faith and in your relationships, Join me. TheEaglesAcademy.com, TheEaglesAcademy.com. When you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed. Connect with me on social media at EddieConnorJr, EddieConnorJr. I've got a number of books out there. I've got 18 books on Amazon, ebooks, audiobooks, hard copies. I would that you would connect with me on that. Add me to your library. Add me to your library. I know these books will speak life into your life as ebooks, audiobooks, hard copies. Not only do I write books, I show you how to write your book. I have something called my bestseller book blueprint, where I am giving you all the insight, the strategies, the solutions, and the systems for how to take your book to another dimension, to increase your sales, to become a best-selling author, how to do that, how to really create and maintain your authenticity as an author, to increase as a industry authority as an author, and then also really how to take your manuscript to the marketplace and maximize it. I've written 18 books and I'm giving you all the strategies that I've used to really maximize it and really to take your words to the world. Generally, after you write a book, people are going to ask you to talk about that book. Download my successful speaker strategies, accessidentity.org/speaker. You can get my bestseller book blueprint, accessidentity.org/author. And you can get those resources. My successful speaker strategies, 4.5-hour digital video training guide of really how to use your words in a way. Whatever you're building, you can build it better if you use better words. What picture are you painting when you're speaking? How do you connect to your audience? How do you overcome stage fright? How do you overcome the fear of speaking? I'm showing you how to do all of that. How do you wow your audience? How do you get invited back? How do you get paid to do what it is that you do? I'm answering all those particular questions in my digital training course, video training course, 4.5 hours of where I'm coaching, teaching, training you on the power of communication. And so you can get that accessidentity.org/author for the book, bestseller book blueprint, and then accessidentity.org/speaker for, my digital video training guide, successful speaker strategies. Speaking of speaking, if you're looking for a dynamic speaker, why would you look any further? You know that I'm the man for the job. So invite me to speak at your church, your conference, your community center, your school, your graduation, your session. Let's make some progression. All you got to do is add me to your calendar, invite me on your podcast, email me to invite me, info@eddieconnor.com. And it would be an honor for me to empower you. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand. Yo, brother. And I mean that. From another mother family, it's been fun. But brother, got to run. So I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy. Yes, it has beyond measure. But I want you, yes, I'm talking to you now to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter. Peace and a whole lot of love. Keep soaring higher.